Hello everybody! It's your favorite undead MC, second channel Girl Cherry here, back from the dead, to talk about, my Usagi rap, Ronin Freestyle from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm gonna do a breakdown today of a whole song, just a bunch of random ass verses like last time. This is, at the time of recording, my most recent song on the channel, and I think it's a pretty good one. I put a lot of time and effort into it. Into the writing especially, even though it's currently like the least viewed video on my channel. So feel free to go run that up if you feel bad for me. I'm certainly not going to tell you not to. But yeah, Usagi is my favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles character, and as far as I'm aware, this is like the first and only nerdcore song about him. Oh, only so far. I'm sure it won't be the first forever. But, I'm sure it won't be the only forever, rather. But, hopefully it's good enough to stand on its own, so let's talk about it. This song essentially came to me in a dream. The backstory of this song is that this was like years ago at this point. Not that many years, but like at least a year ago. I was biking to work at like 6 a.m. in the morning at this old job that I don't work at anymore. And I was listening to Nikki Track's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cypher, on which Grayson plays Usagi, and he starts by saying like, I'm really the Rabbit Ronin, or something like that, and or I'm known as the Rabbit Ronin, something like that. But he says Rabbit Ronin is the important part, and Usagi's known as the Rabbit Ronin. That's like a title he's had for a long time. That's not me ripping off Grayson or anything. But for some reason, the way Grayson said it, like the words Rabbit Ronin were stuck in my head during that shift. And then I realized I could rhyme Rabbit Ronin with drip straight out of a classic shonen. And that rhyme was like so good to me that I was like, I have to use that somewhere. And so by the end of that shift, I had written like 8 bars. I immediately like pulled out my phone and scrambled like, write that down, write that down. So by the end of that shift, I had written like 8 bars, and I sent them to the group chat, and I was like, is this anything? And eventually it evolved into this whole Usagi song, because he's my favorite Ninja Turtles character. Actually, before I start the song and start yapping about each individual line, by the way, be sure to listen to the original song before you come and watch this video, because I'm going to be pausing a lot. The link to that will be in the description, as it is anytime I'm reacting or breaking down to something. But yeah, it'd mean a lot to me if you would run this one up. I just want to talk about Usagi's history, because I think it's really interesting. Because Eastman and Laird, the creators of Ninja Turtles, had this friend whose name I don't remember, who wrote the Usagi Yojimbo comic book series. He was originally not a Ninja Turtles character, he was from his own comic. That was outside of the Ninja Turtles world entirely. And this creator of Usagi was like, man, I'm so jealous that you guys, that like Ninja Turtles popped off and you have all these shows and action figures and stuff. I wish I could get like action figures of Usagi. And Eastman and Laird, who are just super cool guys, were like, if you want, we can write Usagi into the Ninja Turtles show and make him into a Ninja Turtles character so he gets action figures and stuff. And so they did that. And they just straight up made him part of the Ninja Turtles universe, and Usagi got to be on like lunchboxes and action figures and in cartoons and stuff, and it was super cool, and I think that's a really interesting story. Okay, now I'll finally stop furthering the ado, and we will start listening to the song. Literally before I say a word in the rap, I want to talk about this AMV because it's so cool. I was originally just going to do something similar to this. It would have looked less good, obviously, but take like an image of Usagi and throw in like a visualizer, like one of the music visualizers with the bars going up and down. But Caffeine made her own visualizer. She took the instrumental to this song, She EQ'd out everything but the shamisen, which is that stringed instrument you hear. She created this visualizer of the 3 shamisen strings going up and down with the plucking of the instrument. That's so cool. I'm obsessed with how Caffeine churned out that visualizer. It's so interesting, and it makes something cool going on the screen besides just the lyrics showing up, which is always a plus. Now we can start talking. Like Grayson, I just started by saying it's the Rabbit Ronin, because I thought that would be cool to rhyme, and it's the whole reason I started this song, is so I could rhyme it with drip straight out of a classic shonen, which you'll see in just a second.
It's the Rabbit Ronin, rad when the battle's rolling, clean in a gi, drip straight out of a classic shonen. Calm when I get going, be warned for the slash is potent. They ask what we can learn from the past, and I'll have to show them. Blinking you.
Because Usagi is literally from the past. So they ask what we can learn from the past. I'll show you what you can learn from the past. It's all this cool sword shit I'm about to do to you as I kill you.
Miss it, I cleave with the fastest motion, like crashing a secret base without even a how's it going.
I really like that line. The idea of Usagi crashing into your secret base and the goons being like, well, at least say hi before you start slashing us up. I don't know, I thought that was funny.
Show disrespect, and that means that his back gets broken, cause when I take care of business, I'm leaving your casket open. Look.
Rhyming Rabbit Ronin with leaving your casket open. I think that's cool. There's also, that means that his back gets broken. Originally, that means that his ass is forfeit. And I sent that to the group chat when I wrote that original 8 bars, and they were like, that doesn't rhyme, Cherry, you dumbass. And I tried to rap it on beat, and I was like, okay, you're right, it doesn't rhyme that well. But I was worried about that means this back gets broken sounding like a sex bar, because breaking her back is a thing you say when you're fucking someone. I was worried that it would have an unintended meaning, but I think it turned it out fine. Turned? That's not a word. What did I just say? Anyway, ignore that. Stepping out of times past.
Stepping out of times past, long sword swinging.
So you might remember in the Marvel Rivals Cypher by Nerd Out, where I was hired to play Magic. You may remember in that verse, I started by saying, stepping out of limbo, broadsword swinging, which is a reference to here saying, stepping out of times past, longsword swinging. I don't reference myself often. I'm not as clever as like the man be his law, who's able to do that all the time. But I thought it was a cute little cheeky self-reference, except for this song took so long to come out that the Marvel Rival Cypher actually came out first. So anyone listening to them in chronological order would think this was a reference to that and not vice versa. So that's a funny bit of trivia for you.
Putting evil in the dirt, my core mission. Kinda ruthless to my foes, not forgiven. You won't see me coming in the dark, I'm your demon. Send you to heaven to meet with your heritage. Every step shaking the earth like Torterra did.
I made a Pokemon bar and a song that's not about Pokemon. Wow, Cherry's never done that before. But yeah, making the earth shake like Torterra did, because it rhymes with heritage and this other shit I'm about to say. And they say this.
And when I'm needing to bring some more damage in, I call up my bros and roll with 4 terrapins.
The 4 terrapins are obviously... Sorry, wrong button. 4 terrapins are obviously a reference to the 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So Kathy did this cool thing where she color-coded the lyrics to be the Ninja Turtles colors. I think that's dope. But also, this is not the only time that I rhyme heritage with bring the damage in. That it's actually on an upcoming cipher that I'm not allowed to spoil yet, so you'll see eventually when that song comes out. But it's just a good rhyme, and I rhyme the word damage so much over the course of my rap career because you can say it in so many different contexts and it rhymes with so much stuff. But yeah, that's not the only time I use that rhyme, so look out for that in the future.
Wait, I think they're missing the message. Take a seat, I'm finna give your ass a history lesson.
I thought that was funny, because he's literally from the past, so like, sit the fuck down. I'm giving you a history lesson on how brutal Samurai and Ronin from my time can be.
The Ronin of my time were just a little relentless, so if you piss me off just once, you could be meeting your end, and you get it?
You get it?
First name, legend in the game. Every man jumps when I'm stepping into frame.
His first name is Miyamoto. So I reference Shigeru Miyamoto, the creator of Nintendo and Zelda and Mario. So I say I'm a legend in the game, like Legend of Zelda, which is a video game. Every man jumps when I'm stepping in the frame, which is a reference to Jumpman Mario. And then second name.
Second name, never wanted fame, cause the moonlight's just another weapon when I aim.
His second name is Usagi, which literally just means rabbit. But I reference Usagi as in Sailor Moon. Never wanted fame because she has an alter ego. The moonlight's just another weapon when I aim.
Yeah, they're saying holy crap. Try me, bitch, I never been a fan of holding back. And if you wanna get into it, I can hold to that. All you gotta do is say so, bitch, Doja Cat. Yeah, I'm like that, I've been on the chosen path. I could paint the town red in a single motion fast.
You may be wondering why some of those words were in capitals. Say so, get into it, paint the town red, and like that, is because those are all Doja Cat song lyrics. I wanted to rhyme with Zodiac because I wanted to end this song by saying, "No, the rabbit's coming back through time like a Zodiac." I decided that Doja Cat was a good rhyme for Zodiac, and I wanted to say that. But then I needed a good excuse to say Doja Cat in the song. So I said, if you want to get into it, I can hold to that. All you got to do is say so, like it's Doja Cat. Get into it and say so are two songs. And then I just kind of kept going from there. I probably could have stopped there, but I said, shit, what did I say next? I forgot my own lyrics. Like that, that's what I said. Say so, Doja Cat. Like that, paint the town red. Which are all Doja Cat song lyrics. Bitch, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I let all that get to my head. I don't care, I paint the town red. I don't know, I thought it was funny to reference Doja Cat in a song that had absolutely nothing to do with it. But also I had to give myself a good reason to reference Doja Cat. And then of course I say the line I already spoiled.
And if I'm banished and sent back to my unholy past, know the rabbit's coming back through time like a Zodiac.
Know the rabbit's coming back through time like a Zodiac. Because in the Chinese Zodiac, no matter how many years pass, the rabbit will eventually show back up every 12 years. Which is true about every animal in the Chinese Zodiac. The rabbit's not special in that way. But I still thought, if I'm sent back to my unholy past, I'll be coming back through time like a Zodiac. I thought that was cool. I think that's cool. And then, honestly, I had no idea what to do with this little outro bit of instrumental. I was kind of just going to let it breathe and speak for itself, but when I sent this mix off to Wolfboy, I was like, if you can think of anything, which, by the way, Wolfboy did the mix and master, and as they always do, they did a great job on it, because I've had them mix and master a few of my songs over the years. I said, if you come up with anything good to fill this instrumental space, go ahead, because I think it's a tiny bit awkward where it is now. And they sent me back this. Give it a second. Which is so cool. They did scratch work, which I think is so cool. But yeah, I think that scratch work is so cool that Wolf threw in. They totally didn't have to do that. That was totally of their own volition. I can't do scratch work. I don't know how to make that sound good, but Wolf does, because that was killer. So yeah, that's Ronin Freestyle. I yapped a lot during this one for a song that's only 2 minutes long, but that's what I do during my breakdowns. I hope you liked it. Please run up the original video. It's only got 240 views right now, which is a bummer, because I worked really hard on this one. So, I hope you all like it half as much as I did. And I don't have a clever intro, so I'll see you guys in the next video, I suppose. Bye, thank you so much for watching.